should not agree to any kind of injunction.
I didn't agree to anything, no, but they'll force it on me.
Are you going to pay that fine?
At this rate, no, I'm not paying the fine because I didn't commit the contempt order. I didn't break the order, and they had a false witness who was willing to perjure himself under oath, and the judge found him more credible. So I am not willing to pay a fine for something I didn't do.
So how long are you going to be in jail then? He said you're in jail until you pay the fine?
Right, that's what he said. I'll be in jail until I pay the fine, so I guess it'll be a long time.
How much for the fine?
$1,000. And that was part of the costs, legal costs that Cabot asked for, a portion of their legal costs.
How do you feel about this?
It's basically what happens when you have an industry that takes over a county. They've taken over this county. They've taken over every branch of this county, the government plus the legal system. So at this point, we the citizens can do whatever we can to protect ourselves, but we will have to possibly take the fall because the judge is on the side of Cabot. And the judge has land that's leased. He's got about 100 acres that's leased to another company in our county, and he should have accused himself a long time ago.
So Vera, you're not sentenced, you're just now receiving word the fine that you do not want to pay. Where do we stand in your sentencing today?
Well, basically, the judge, as far as the contempt order, he concurred that I'm in contempt. He wouldn't listen to any additional witnesses that we have. We had more witnesses that were present, that were willing to speak, and who had an affidavit. He wouldn't listen to any additional evidence to show that I wasn't there, that I didn't cross the 100-foot mark, that I wasn't on the access road. He wasn't willing to listen to that. So he just believed basically the Cabot gas worker who would have a reason to possibly lie. And he was willing to do that. And at this point, I'm under, he's going to give a decision in 1 or 2 days whether I'm under the permanent injunction. So we'll see what he decides, and I can imagine what he can decide.
How do you feel about Cabot asking the judge to have your lawyers testify against or waive the attorney-client privilege?
I think it's a horrible precedent that Cabot has asked the attorneys to waive their client privilege. And this is now precedent because we have emails, we have electronic mail that we have to release all these things. So this has happened in this court, in this county, because this is where Cabot reigns. And Cabot eventually will be out of the county at one point. At some point they will fall. They can't be a company forever. There's many companies now that are going bankrupt. They're having problems economically. Cabot will one day have problems too.
Why did you initially agree and then change your mind? What made you agree in the beginning?
Well, I agreed because my attorneys actually encouraged me to agree, and they said this would be the best I could do. And I agreed to some of the points. I agreed to the new points, and then when I saw the final draft and thought about it, looked at it, and looked at the fine print, I said, I can't do this. I can't sign it. And I thought I had time. I could change my mind. Like any contract, you have to sign it. If you don't want to sign, then it's over. But now they're saying you don't even need a signature, even though the signatures were there for me and Cabot to sign, plus the judge.
Are you going to appeal this decision?
If we can, we're going to appeal it. We'll see what the lawyers think. If they can appeal it, that'll be great. And if not, then I will just have to deal with the consequences. And I will continue to protect myself, my county, my family from a toxic industry that has 600 DEP violations in this county alone. And this company has DEP verifications of dozens of families that have been polluted, contaminated their water, they can't drink it, and it's still happening to this time. And Cabot is doing this, they're contaminating our environment, and they need to be exposed. Whether I do it or if I'm incarcerated, then other people will do it also. This is a corporate takeover. It's a corporate machine. It's all over the country. Any citizen opposition, any citizen dissent is being taken to court and citizens are being intimidated. This is corporate strategy to stop dissent and opposition. And this is a pattern. And I've talked to other groups, I've talked to academics all over the country, and this is all over the country for all kinds of issues. They want to scare people so that they cannot protect themselves and they can just do whatever they want and parade around like they are the good neighbors that they claim they are, which they are not. All right.
Just so I'm clear, Vera, the main thing you object to is the, with the buffer zones out into the public roads, right? That's kind of what you were saying, was it?
Well, the main thing I object to is that Cabot, and it's a company, and no company should have the right to tell an American citizen, or even a non-citizen, where they can walk, where they can stand, where they can park on a public road. They're telling me, and only me in the whole county, only me in the whole state, where I can stand, where I can walk on a public road.
Sheila.
And they have about 190 driveways. So they're telling me I cannot stand near their driveways on a public road. And they also are telling private landowners where I can be on their property in relation to their sites. And I'm willing to stay 100 feet from their sites, but anything beyond that, I want to be able to do if I have the permission of the landowner. So they want to control landowners, they want to control citizens on public roads. This should not be allowed in this country. We do have a corporate takeover in our government, starting at the federal level, all the way down to local. This has been going on now for decades. And now we're seeing the fruit of allowing corporate entities to take over our country. They're making their own laws, they feel they're above the law, and that they can do whatever they want and quell citizen dissent and opposition, and then scare people so that most of our citizens now are underground. They're afraid to come out. They're afraid of losing their money or whatever else they have to do, their lives, their freedom. Why? Because now we're taken over by this entity that's willing to pollute our water, pollute our air, and put us at risk with high-pressure pipelines. Anything explodes, anything leaks, we are at complete risk and we're toast.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm Vera's lawyer, Sheila Dugan. I'm one of Vera's 4 lawyers. 3 of them have been subpoenaed to turn over their client attorney records, which is the biggest violation I can imagine of what we consider our ethical duty. And it's going to happen. I can see that. I can see it happening. They're just doing it. I think so. This wind us all, down so that nobody wants to appear for her anymore because none of us want to have to be subpoenaed. But there's a lot of civil rights lawyers out there, and as long as there's civil rights lawyers, we'll fight for Vera's civil rights.
Thank you for your work.